Hello and welcome to Green Horizon, a new frontier. Over the last few episodes, we gained insight into work done by the Environmental Investment Fund of Namibia through their Empower to Adapt program. In this episode, brought to you once again by the EIF in partnership with the Green Climate Fund, we will look at a natural resource that Namibia has in abundance: the sun. The Environmental Investments Fund's Natural Resource Management team recently headed to Shoshona Conservancy next to the Etosha National Park. Here, the EIF, together with the Ukwaludi Traditional Authority, have invested in clean renewable energy. The Shoshona solar plant is located in this area, as well as a lodge that will cater for tourists. The lodge is situated close to one of the many salt pens that regularly attract plenty of animals. During the rainy season, the pens fill up, turning the area into a nature's paradise. Next to the breathtaking scenery, the solar plant will soon provide electricity to the lodge that was halted in its construction due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Mati Amadila is a community member at the Shoshona Conservancy and is happy with the solar power plant.
The news has been well received by the community because it gives a hope for the future that the benefit will come out of the project if it's made fully operational. Yeah, so far there are some few people who has solar for their homesteads, but the majority in for the electricity itself. My message is that this project is for the whole Ohangwena community. It's not for one individual, but for the whole of Ohangwena community. And we want to all our people in the community to understand that and to start to learn to live with the animals, just like our forefathers have been doing.
Amadila raises concerns about poaching and reminds his fellow community members that the Conservancy's animals are for all.
Yeah, there might be problem because some of the people have some problem with the poaching, of course. There are some people who are the poaching, but we want to try and make everybody understand that those animals and all those who are there, the whole area, is made for the benefit for the whole Ohangwena community.
The solar plant will provide excess electricity, which will be used by some villages in the conservancies. According to supporting entity Cosmos Shilongo, this type of tourism venture will unlock potential in this area.
First, I would like to state that I'm representing Tortoise Environmental Consultants, a supporting entity that has prepared the project document on behalf of the CBO, in behalf of Shoshona Conservancy. Our role in this whole project is to ensure that the project is effectively managed, coordinated and implemented, and also to make sure that the CBOs is adhering to the conditions of the Memorandum of Agreement in terms of preparing and submissions of project progress reports and financial narratives. That's basically what we do, and we also have to make sure that the construction of the solar plant is in accordance with the project document. Honestly speaking, this intervention is quite a very good, remarkable intervention. in a sense that it helps the community to unlock potentials from the solar plant. It will, after the completion of the solar plant, it will generate income because the plant is actually owned by the conservancy itself. The tour operator or the lodge owner will actually buy power from the community or from the solar plant, and then the community itself will see what are they going to use this income for. We have provided the ring fence sort of a guidance on what they should use this income for. Basically, it's perceived that solar energy is renewable and it doesn't pollute the atmospheres. In the past, this lodge, although it's not yet operational, it does use the diesel engine, and we all know that the diesel, the burning of diesel products do emit particulates, the carbon dioxide and the other dangerous gases into the atmosphere. So the solar energy is going to remedy that, so contributing to the country objective in terms of preventing the emission of dangerous gases into the atmosphere, at the same time reducing the negative impacts of climate change. The community has to acknowledge that they are actually the lucky ones to receive this type of interventions where they have not even spent a single cent, and they have to give these acknowledgements to Green Climate Fund as well as our own environmental to EIF, Environmental Investment Fund of Namibia, who made it very possible for them to have this type of interventions that is going to improve the livelihood of their households or community members. They really need to take care of it. You see, it's quite located in a very remote area. We are not ruling out the issue of theft that we have to take care of, because this is their product and this is the product that belongs to the conservancy. It's their product, let me say like that. So that we have to take care of them. It's their product. They have to make sure that it will remain here to benefit future generations.
An envisaged cultural center is planned at Amarika, as Hilda Namunyo Tonaki Haipinge of the Ongajera Traditional Authority explains.
O project kanjino siye mo metonate baharari eturia sia shushona o peitambura ko no mwinyo awushe papandura shasho pete kutia aike petera uyambo nene deka ushike wasemba tulipo paife dono mapipitage etumwarakari anje ko Oshikoto unene irio yetonate baharari sia shushona odondino kutia turongere kumwe opo tukarekepo oproeka etunjino jitaitweteruwa nawa tuyigamene kayonagulwepo setukale tuyikarekapo opo situlimano atalelipo tayeya yotaye taamono shino shalongwa mano opo sho taetwetelemo osha setatumonosha moshono tasheetwamo ashitukwatha nomaluvalo getu.
While plans are grand, Haipinge warns that caution should not be thrown into the wind.
Oshigwana atushuvithako kutya uwana oproeka njino no nuwana atalelipo shitaya mochilongo chetu tuyagamenewo nayo opo yakale uvitu ugumbo shiyeli moshitopolwa shetu yo tatalunchi twetu nawo tukukalekapo nawa muyelele olusheno ndono taluketwetela oshimaliwa moshiketha shetu shasho mpunguli nguno takala tafutukutse ketonatela hala opo tumone oshimaliwa shono tashikwatha nasho oshigwana shetu. Ndiwete kutya aakwashigwana yetu akamono mpito mbwana ajiilonga shakuti oloja yetu yatameka okulonga shasho twali nga twatameka nale omolwiimbike ngambi taipitipo nokuyapo nokupitapo ngashi nga neno omukithi nguno gweyapo aantu yetu yali nga twakonga mbo taakalonga yamwe eri komashala gamwe okweli nale tayidheula mbinekela kutya shaiko oloja yetu yapatuluka nena otaakatameka okulonga aantu yetu otaakamona iiyemo nomito njo jilonga oyejipandula lela.
Local head woman Otelia Ipinge has welcomed the development and says that the development will create job opportunities for the locals.
Meritambula kona shashe ndichu chashi ngoya karara. Achulika nukuli nalo na eti yamu yamo nemo mito jironga mkose simpila mwalonja jira mwalikanchi. Nadonga yokukomba ni yokuninga chike. Umukomesheri ya ni yamakutinga ilimega meno shashi nunura mbucho na yala kutali yamakutingi. Ginde inamunyinga shindete yasimana mwamunga hamuzi mambi ngaya tupei kukuta mtu aizi ngami na mwinyo. Ni mkito no kukale kwa pochiri na shashi parunga kukia mtinge toki no kapo no mbugare kokuti ponge mtidi kale dirina.
Ipinge believes that they are bound to get surplus money from the excess electricity generated by the plant. The money will be put to good use.
Ngai mochwana chito muno aruna iri maskora. Ostera shaji katami anda muya ni nurucheno anata irongo. Omunu unona wazako kotongo no kwa mega no numoka kewa no konga uziko. Apumba ngoma kwa thogumukadona. Muma kwa thiro nga wima yo hethewa magathi numa kadana umbo chawa koko kauni waterithwa ngana na maskora wana chulukanga tukakwathirwe nigo koko sisi njike tupengano na tweke hapa makwathogelinga.
The ideas of Ipinge also tie in with a ring-fencing income proposal that the supporting entity has drawn up for the project. The intention is to reinvest into local-level climate change adaptation activities. Concerning the solar income, the community has already outlined 4 types of activities that will make a meaningful impact. Climate-resilient agriculture is one, which will create horticultural projects to supply vegetables to the lodge, including backyard gardens to enhance food production. Climate-proof infrastructure by starting using household solar lighting and use solar cookers as an alternative to firewoods and mitigate deforestation. Eco-based adaptation, this will involve brick making for construction of houses as opposed to timber and bush to feed. Enclosure bushes will be harvested to feed livestock. Capacity development and social upliftment is the fourth, providing tuitions to students from the conservancies as well as textbook and vocational equipment. Now, time for a break, but when we come back, we take a look at a similar venture at Soris and hear from the beneficiaries. Stay tuned. Welcome back. The Environmental Investment Fund, in partnership with the Green Climate Fund, also financed a solar energy project at Soris Conservancy. The Soris Conservancy received a solar plant which was funded by the EIF under the Empower to Adapt project, the EDA. The plant was erected at a cost of $3 million Namibian and set to benefit the community. Soris means sun in Damaranama, and there is an abundance of it here. The Conservancy, through the EIF, has helped to set up this solar plant at the Soris Lodge. The lodge, in line with its business model, is co-owned by the community, and the plan helps the people save on operational cost. Launching the power plant, Environment and Tourism Minister, Honorable Pohamba Shifeta, called for sound financial accountability. He applauded the Conservancy for using the climate change adaptation initiatives under the EIF to secure funding for this solar power plant.
This intervention witnessed today is a clear manifestation of local level empowerment and ownership, as well as enterprise development through a joint venture, through an off-take agreement with the Namibian Exclusive Safari in Soris Conservancy. The project demonstrates the Conservancy's unit management and also commitment and hard work, and is a living proof of local level transformation towards increasing resilience of these communities living in the community natural resource management area for climate change adaptation. I have seen and experienced the struggle and tragedy of most of our community-based organizations in the absence of basic energy service facilities, most promising community-based establishments, especially those in very remote corners of the country, usually close down as a result of higher operations costs related to diesel costs. I'm therefore related to inform you that the handover of the solar plant to the Soris Conservancy has come at an opportune time, a time when community-based natural resource communities are adopting to diversify livelihoods options in the face of severe climate change challenges. It is a known fact that Kunene region has been prone to and is highly impacted by severe drought and the climate variability for almost the past 8 years. Additionally, the region's topography does not serve as a conducive environment for crop production. The Soris Conservancy 150 kilowatts power plant will greatly contribute to the ministry's achievement towards attaining the renewable energy and energy efficiency targets. The project will benefit a total of 9,200 people, and they created 25 jobs already.
Benedict Libanda, the Chief Executive Officer of the Environmental Investment Fund, emphasizes on the reality of global warming, saying that Kunene lost in excess of 49,000 cattle during the drought of 2019, and that number continues to grow.
The business model of the plant is extremely impressive. The plant is owned by the community. It's leased to the operator, as it has been earlier said. The plant is lifespan is 20 to 25 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So it will generate about almost 400,000 Namibian dollars worth of electricity that will be bought from the plant, and that will increase on 5% annual, and it will go directly to the conservancy. In a space of 20 years, it will avoid about 4,000 tons of carbon that could have emitted through diesel use for electricity generation. So we can tell how local actions contribute to more climate change goals, although at micro level, but when they're multiplied, there's a lot of impact in terms of addressing climate change, both from mitigation and adaptation point of view. From the Environmental Investment Fund, I would like to thank the Green Climate Fund for availing these much needed resources for our country, and we are looking forward to submitting more proposals.
Kunene Governor Marius Sheya was in a joyous mood as he welcomed the investment and called on his residents to look after the plant.
As people of Kunene, we have adopted what we call to ourselves a move that we are saying we appreciate as people of Kunene where we are, the circumstances we are in as a region, and that whatever comes in our way in terms of development, like our Chief Gaup was saying, we are going to make fully use of it to the best of our human ability possible. So EIF, we thank you for initiating together with the Conservancy and Ministry of Environment and Tourism this project. All my wish is to the chairperson of the Conservancy, Aumet Hida Nebahudra Ho Marini. Chine projects and Ibasens Kuruba is King Ibasensa in Twantware. Is Wa Kwenawa Chikwendi Wika Tabaka. Thank you for the investment. We are going to make use of it, and we will make sure that the community at large benefits from an investment of this nature and its intended purpose.
The chairperson of the Soris Conservancy, Gerson Isep, also welcomed the intervention but insisted that the real benefactors are the community.
I would first check on our ancestors. Otherwise, we will not get our blessings. For some of us, grew up in this area, we like to cry, Master Nikki, to see such development on the hills. We played with the goats, and it's our swell. There was nothing. But to see something like this, then one could remember the voice of our ancestors. They said, one day you will benefit. And it's today. Kunene region, the place of beauty. Elephants and rhinos, our economic source. Taurep Mountain, the highest in Namibia. Welwitschia plant, the oldest in the world, found in Kunene region. Soros area, the pride of our generation. Soros Conservancy, and underline, Soros Conservancy, the pride of our generation. Abraham Kaisev, the little ones. Showing the key of education that will lead to success for tomorrow. I thank you. These lots you are remaining, you are standing, you are seeing, belongs to the community. One would wonder, those guys were living in luxury rooms. Now something is wrong here. Nothing is wrong. Because we are the shareholders of these lots. The community is the shareholder of these lots. We are the owners of these lots. But somebody should manage it. After the establishment of these lots, we used diesel to have electricity over here, which was a challenge issue. We spent around 60,000 per month in terms of diesel. After some times, we got information in our local newspapers. We felt like a challenge to see whether we can change this diesel into solar. And we, the community, together with Master Vito, who is managing the lots, we sat down and we came to this plan to try to invent the solar. Then, not all of us can do this work. We have consulted our consultants in Vendu, the Tortuous environmental consultants, to help us with the process. And we met Master Jonas Haida, if he's around, and his partner, Master Cosmos Shilongo. I hope he was around. Right, in the corner far there. These two gentlemen helped the Conservancy with the application process with EIF.
Local Chief Zakaria Sabia believes the solar plant should be a first step towards a paradigm shift for his people who have endured years of drought.
Climate change and global warming, diramian agu di karakara si badu jede dugo how ait masadu modika gomu. Sidage we are optimistic na apkeni ha digemies ai tu sida di moiba kawa. Sidage we are optimistic na apkeni ha digemies ai tu sida di moiba kawa. Sidage man kwa piago ne kaisne ika kaisa a ika kai waba we are the type tu bara kolega. Neda ngwa odugiramu ne ba ngwa guje karaga gugai gwa ne ba ngwan ge karaga gu kuena di karaga gu ngwa guge ne di kaisa gwa kagai sidagira tom ne di ngan di kai ti ne di kai instinct apo ne di karaga gu kadi ko ne ba han aroma kadiya tingo kaisa sidagira tom ne di ngan di kai ti ne di kai instinct apo ne di karaga gu kadi ko ne ba han aroma kadiya tingo kaisa.
With global warming being an ever-growing threat, the power plants will avoid over 4,000 tons of carbon emissions that could have been caused by the usage of diesel generators over 20 years. This episode has taught us to be smart and use energy sources that are cheaper and preserve the environment. We hope you have enjoyed our series of programs, and in the near future we will return to these sites to see the changes and impacts on the livelihoods on these inhabitants. For now, it's bye-bye.